Hello, my name is Alexis, and this is my second discussion board. This discussion board will be about the ethical issues with extended reality with VR systems, AR and MR. So the first question is, in the beginning of the article, areas of immediate concern involve the lack of legal precedent, security and data privacy threats, cognitive hacking, and dangers related to technology over-reliance, difficulty in determining the boundaries between the physical and virtual domains. What do you think Char Sample, the author, meant by this statement? I think that what the author meant is that if virtual reality kind of blends into our actual reality when certain things happen, as far as like crimes or issues that we would consider to be unethical, because whatever is happening that's not good or that's unethical or bad or could be considered a true crime in the real world, if it happens in the VR or one of those augmented reality systems, then it's going to affect the person outside of that system as well, or it could. And so we don't really have laws in place for a virtual system. Like if something, let's say someone hacks into your VR system and you start to get dizzy, you start to have like physical illness due to what this person did. Like, how do they punish them if there's no law or against somebody hacking into your VR system? Or if it's just seen as something that was accidental and not intentional. So it's hard to know, like, because we are now creating these new systems that do so much and they're very new. So we're trying to create rules around how to use them. And I only think that that's probably going to come with like more usage. So there's probably going to be a lot of things that happen that now rules are created for it after they happen because they happened, if that makes sense. Is there a difference in virtual crime and physical crime? So, I mean, yes and no. It depends on what the crime is, I think. Of course, physical crime is gonna always take precedence over something that happens virtual, but there can still be virtual crimes, like someone stealing your information and then going and committing fraud with that information. So yeah, there's still that's a virtual crime becoming a physical crime in a sense. But other things like an attack on a VR character, I don't think that can really be tried. Is it messed up? Yes. Could it do psychological damage to someone that's young and even maybe even older? Could something disturbing happen in a VR game to mentally affect you? Yes. But I don't think that it's gonna carry the same weight as if somebody actually did that in reality. Like if somebody jumps you and beats up your VR character on a game, that's not gonna affect you physically like if somebody actually beat you up in real life. So, you know, me personally, I would probably just laugh something like that off. I don't know, again, the psychological effects that would have on people in the long term. That's something to consider. Let's see what question 3. In regards to security issues to VR, AR, MR headsets, and what are some of the ways that you know how to protect your workstations or mobile devices that you can apply the same security to headsets? So in our regular everyday life, we have to use strong passwords. Sometimes Google will create these passwords for you. Sometimes you can try to create your own strong passwords using a series of numbers, symbols, and letters, different weights of the number, you know, capital, lowercase. So that always helps. Keeping your software updated, possibly using like antivirus software or the security software like Norton that kind of keeps things off of your computer. It scans it all the time, make sure that you don't have anybody like coming in. Also, like using a different IP address so people don't know like where you're logging in from. So protecting your IP address. I feel like those things would help. And also probably being cautious of like who you give permissions to, and what apps you download, what websites you interact with. Because like some websites just look scammy, they look fishy. So don't just put your information into anything. I'm constantly always telling my son to not buy just anything from any website, because some of those websites are just scam websites. They say they have this for sale, they don't, and they're just collecting your information and trying to see where you are, and then they start calling you and then get this text and, oh, I got a job for you, you can make $1,000 in 2 hours, and scam. So those are ways that I feel like you can protect your device. You know, definitely power everything down. Don't leave anything on. Don't leave your camera screen open. People can hack into anything these days. So just being mindful that that's a possibility. Maybe turn off your Wi-Fi and your hotspot stuff like when you're in open areas. And then I don't allow people to just airdrop me things, because people will do that too. You'll be in a public place and they'll just airdrop all the phones that have their airdrop on. So you have to be aware of stuff like that too, because I believe that they can do some type of hack. I'm not a hacker, but if I was, I'd use your airdrop. So the next question is, the article mentioned the use of GPS, and we trust and count on software to be reliable. The glass ceiling for Apple's cell phone was the iPhone 3. Developer was able to do banking apps and develop apps on a touchscreen cell phone. Extended Reality XR has not met its peak and has not developed the application to push technology over the peak. With the new age of XR technology, XR is much more than video game development. Where do you foresee the future of Extended Reality XR? Or what application would you like to see XR that could captivate all users? And please do not mention video game development. I really feel like XR could possibly go really far. And what I would think about is like things that we would normally interact with, like meetings that we would normally have. We can now have meetings into like the XR reality. So like, let's say you wanted to have a one-on-one meditation session. You could maybe put on your VR headset, go into this different reality, relax, decompress. That would be really cool to see. Also, something that would be really cool to see is being able to experience like a simple doctor's appointments. So doctor's appointments that you don't have to get tests ran or anything like that. Instead of having to go to the doctor's office or even just kind of video chat, you could literally put your VR on and just sit in this office. Also, we can start trying to like make those experiences like more relaxing. So, and I know you said don't mention games, but like if it's kind of like a game, like you have things to do while you're in the waiting room, waiting for your doctor to come into the room. Your doctor is in the room with you, sitting down on this VR headset. I don't know, it just seems like it makes it more personable. So I feel like the way that we meet and interact with each other using VR could perhaps be better, because we can utilize it for things like that. And then even like shopping would be cool. Like let's say there's a store that I'm unable to go to physically, and they it just would take online shopping to the next level, because with the VR headset I can pretty much go into the store, look on the racks, pick up what I want to see, and maybe I can actually just blow it up and see like it on the screen. Maybe I could even try it on and see what it would look like on my body. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be so cool, I think. But anyway, that was the last question, and this is my discussion board too on VR and augmented reality headsets and security and where they could go in the future. Thank you.